I'm excited.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday. It is the day, the National Banana Bread Day at the Long Island Breakfast Club show. I have a wonderful lady here today. Her name is Andrea Nordquist.
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
She is what is known a Blue Star mother, something I knew nothing about until a year ago. And we're going to talk about this great organization that really helps so many people in the military families, local veterans, honors the fallen, and offers support to fellow moms who have people in the Army. Is it the Navy too?
All branches of the service.
All branches of service. And they have all kinds of wonderful programs that they do, which I don't even know if everybody knows about these programs.
A lot of people don't.
Because I didn't, and I feel pretty educated on a lot of nonprofits because I do a lot of nonprofit work, and I never heard of this, so I'm very happy to have you. And we're going to be talking a lot about what you do and how you help everyone. You live in Belmore.
Mm-hmm.
You have a big family, a lot of grandchildren.
Love them.
And I'm assuming you're retired, but
yes, I am.
You were a school teacher.
Yes, I was.
In both areas, here in Valley Stream and Massapequa.
I taught in Massapequa. I also taught in Uniondale. I taught
Uniondale
at Kellenberg Memorial High School for a few years.
Jeez.
And then when they opened up a grammar school, I was at the grammar school for 10 years.
So you really had a lot of teaching ability and all grade school, or did you move up and...
Nothing higher than 8th grade, up to junior high.
Yeah, so that was good, right?
Junior high children are very interesting.
Yeah. And I think if you were teaching now, you'd probably find it a little grueling.
I do actually tutor.
Oh, math. You do?
Yeah, I do. So I am still working with students, but working with them one-on-one is very different than in a classroom. So.
Oh, definitely. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Greg is missing today because he's traveling.
Okay.
So you'll meet him the next time, but I understand you work with Kiwanis a little bit.
Yes, I do. A lot of Kiwanians are great supporters of Blue Star Mothers, so I have worked with a lot of different Kiwanis.
And Greg is a big part of Kiwanis as well, so he's going to be sorry that he missed you. But you'll see him another time.
Okay.
So how do you like our place?
I love
unique?
It. It's adorable. We were here the other night for an event, bingo night, and we had a lot of fun. It was
so this is funny because I didn't know you were here.
Yeah.
And you said when you got here, you said, this looks familiar. I think I've been here. And then you tell me you were at karaoke.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Just
really
the
funny.
other night. I think it was last Wednesday night, as a matter of fact.
So did you enjoy it?
Yes, we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of laughs. It would have been a little more fun if I won a bingo game, but I didn't. But it was just fun to play.
Right. Okay. Well, it's good to know. I mean, you see, you just never know. And it's really, really nice to have you here.
We're very happy. Yes, thank you.
So the weather is, not too bad, but I was aching the last 2 days.
It's the dampness.
Yes, definitely. So let's start about how did this start for you? I mean, I know what you did up until you got involved with the military, but did one of your children join the Navy, the Army? How did it start?
My son, Gregory, went away to college for a semester, and he was doing all right, but nothing spectacular. And he came home in April of his second semester, and he said, Ma, this just college isn't for me. It's not what I want. I've joined the Air Force. So I screamed, I yelled, I cried. I went down the hall, screamed and yelled and cried some more. Then I came back and we started to talk, and I realized why he did what he did and why he made that decision. And it did sound like it was a really good choice. So that following September, off he went into the Air Force. In October, he graduated from basic training. We went out for graduation. And I have never been so proud of him, seeing him there in his uniform, because he is an Eagle Scout. He got his first stripe on his uniform. So that really was exciting. And he then was assigned to a bunch of different bases. And then he was in England for 2 years. And then when he came home, he decided to join the Air National Guard. So he's at Gabreski Air Force Base in West Hampton Beach.
Wow, and he's still doing that?
He's still doing that. He's been in for 17 years now. So
wow.
I didn't know anything about Blue Star Mothers. It was very difficult sending your child away. He was deployed for 3 times. And there was no support system, no one I could talk to, no one that understood why he was doing what he was doing, what it was like to have a son on the other side of the world in very terrible neighborhoods. And I happened to be at a parade one day, and there were a bunch of mothers walking in the parade, and they said they were Blue Star mothers. And I said, oh, what's that? And they said, oh, we're mothers of sons and daughters who are either currently serving or have served in the military. And, would I like to join? So they gave me a card. And I thought, wow, this is really phenomenal. I wish I had known this when he first went away.
Because you have people you could talk to, commiserate with,
right. And who understand.
Share things. Right.
It's not the same as sending your son or daughter off to college. It's very, very different. So I became a member of Blue Star Mothers. And I was the chaplain, then I was the first VP, and now I'm the president. So
wow, so you were the chaplain.
Chaplain first.
Did you have to take training for that?
No, you just open with a prayer.
Did you have to be a certain religion?
No, it's just multi-faith, multi-religions. Just start each meeting with a prayer and close each meeting with a prayer.
Oh, okay.
And then the president asked if I would be first VP, so I got elected to that position, and then I moved up to president. So I've been president now for 2 years, and it's just an amazing group of women.
Is it a lot of work?
Tons of work, tons of meetings, activities, events, paperwork. But I have a phenomenal group of women who are
volunteers
in my chapter who just rise to the occasion whenever I need. I can send out an email. For example, a company donated 187 jackets, vests, sweater vests that they weren't using anymore, brand new. They were changing the color of their company. It was parking systems, and they were changing from red and green to some other colors. And they wanted to get rid of all these brand new items. And they said, we'd love to give them to the veterans. They're brand new. We said, absolutely phenomenal. The veterans will now have coats and sweaters, but they had logos on them, and they didn't want their logo out there in the world. So another company called General Needs donated 100 patches. We bought some more patches. So I sent out an email. I said, Moms, I need somebody to help me sew these patches on these 187 items. And moms rose to the occasion, took bags from my house, sewed them on, brought them back. And we were able to bring all those coats to the VA up in Northport so that our veterans will have coats.
Wow, that's terrific.
So, that's
nice
the kind
work.
of moms they are. I can just send out an email at any time and say, I need help doing this. Could someone go here? Could someone pick this up? Could someone help with this activity? And they're there for me at all times. So
that's great.
Can't do what you do as a president without having a really good support system, and they are phenomenal.
That's great. And now, as far as the women, are they from all over, or is it just from certain areas?
We're military Blue Star Mothers of Nassau County, New York 14. So we're a Nassau County chapter. There's also a Suffolk County chapter. So we take care of all events in Nassau County. We can also go into Queens and Staten Island. And then Suffolk County has Manhattan and Brooklyn. But we do go over county lines at times, and that is fine. So we are basically in Nassau County. The VA up in Northport is our area to take care of. Suffolk County takes care of the Long Island Veterans Home in Stony Brook.
Now, do you deal with anything with in Hempstead, in Uniondale, by the hospital? They have a private office there
There's
for veterans
the
in
Vet
the hospital.
Mart in East Meadow.
Yes, East Meadow, right.
So Vet Mart is behind there. Yes, as a matter of fact, we are going to a school next week, and they have 20 boxes of toiletries, socks, basic foods.
So one school actually did a collection?
Yes, they did a collection. So we'll be picking that up on Wednesday and bringing that over to Vet Mart. The schools are very good. Seaford High School and Middle School did an activity for the Super Bowl, and what they did was they had 2 big boxes, one for, and I'm not a sports person, so one of the boxes for one of the teams that were playing, one of the boxes for the other team, and kids could come and bring an item, put it in the box of the team that they thought was going to win.
Oh, that's
and we
cute.
got quite a bit of items from them, so we sent that off to the VA and the Vet Mart too, because the Vet Mart will give out free food to veterans in Nassau County. And all you have to just prove is your DD 214.
Yeah, you bring in a form.
You served, and any vet can go once a week and pick up free food. We donated dinners, frozen dinners for them near Christmas time. Because even though the veterans do go and they get the food and they cook it, it was nice for them to be able to just get a frozen dinner that could just pop in.
So you're probably, your phone is ringing always, your bell
all the
is,
time.
the doorbell is ringing, keeps you busy.
Emails come, texts come. On our paperwork, on our charter, it says, help our military, support our veterans, honor the fallen, and help our moms, which is on paper, but we actually really change lives.
Oh, definitely.
Giving them
anything you do in life when you give changes lives.
And when you see how we cook meals for veterans at Liberty Village once a month, they have to go there for their PTSD meetings, and we provide dinner. So of course they have a lot more men on the nights that we provide dinner, because a lot of them don't cook for themselves. They don't have dinners the way we make.
Right.
So that once a month they get a nice hot meal. They'll get,
That's
a meat,
nice.
a potato, vegetables, dessert, whatever we can give them. So we give them a nice big hot meal so they go to their PTSD meetings. Because a lot of them have a lot of issues, and this gets them out and helps them get the help they need. And then we give them dinner. So.
Now, it also says here, a Gold Star banner. What's that all about?
Okay, so that's a Gold Star banner, something that I hope I never have to do that. This is a Blue Star banner. So it's got the red border, the white interior, and a blue star. Means I have one person
Son
in my
or-
family
or
that is
woman?
now serving, man or woman. You can have up to 5 stars. So if we have a family in our group, Christine, she has 3 sons
Wow,
in the
that must
military.
be
So she has
nerve-wracking.
3 stars. Yeah, I don't know how she does it, but we have some 2-star moms. If your child is killed in battle or dies while he's in service on active duty, they become a Gold Star family.
Okay.
So their Gold Star goes over the Blue Star.
And
then
they
they're a
get
Gold
that
Star.
for their windows and things? Okay.
So if anybody ever sees this banner in somebody's window, they know that
They
they
lost
have
somebody.
a blue one. Yes, if it's a gold one, yes, if they've lost somebody.
Okay.
And we do have many Gold Star families on Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
And we have had to honor the fallen quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. So what is this now that you brought? What is
Okay,
that?
so this is just our Blue Star logo for Blue Star Mothers. Blue Star Mothers started back in 1942, I believe. It was a small group of women in the Midwest that had sons, at the time, of sons serving, and they wanted to get together. So they started the Blue Star Mother group.
Okay. And what is this a picture of? Let me
Okay,
see that.
that's a picture of, we were very lucky. We have 2 granite benches in Eisenhower Park right outside of
You
veteran.
did a bench program.
Yes, right outside of the Veterans Memorial on Field 6. And a funny story, though, is we wanted to get a bench and we loved the granite. So we went to a place called St. Charles Monuments and we spoke to Marcus Tanner. And he was going to create this bench for us, and he was going to install them and engrave them for us for free, but we were paying for the bench. Bench was quite
It's a few
expensive.
thousand.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, because I did too.
So we went to the Eisenhower, and Mr. Blakeman, Bruce Blakeman, our county supervisor, said, oh, this is wonderful, our county executive, this is great. You can have your benches in the park. But he says they really wanted us to have 2 benches because everybody else that has memorials have 2 benches. And we're a small organization. And I said, I can't say to spend thousands of dollars for 2 benches when we have so many needy veterans. So when I called Marcus, I said, do you have any other kind of benches that are cheaper that we could put? He goes, no, you want the nice benches. I'll take care of the second bench.
How nice.
So I'm like, wow, this is great. So I get the form that we had to fill out to say that I like the printing, I like the logo, and you're supposed to pay a 50% deposit before they start to create them. And there's no amount there. So I called Marcus. I said, Marcus, how much do you want me to send you? I love the benches. I want to get these started. And he says, no, both benches are on me.
Oh, what a wonderful man.
So Marcus Tanner of St. Charles Monuments in, right near the cemetery.
The cemetery.
In Pineland, yeah.
That's where my family was. Yeah.
He donated both benches for us. So
Very
we did
nice.
have him at the ceremony. We did give him a citation. Just the most generous, wonderful man that I know of. And his kindness just was amazing because we couldn't afford the 2 benches. We would have paid for the one, but when he decided he would pay for both, we were just,
That's
I remember he
terrific.
told
I
me,
love
and I was in the
stories
car,
like that.
and I was crying in the car because I couldn't believe that he would be that generous to make that kind of a donation.
Very
So
nice.
this picture is one of our Blue Star moms, and her son came to the bench dedication,
Oh.
and he was just hugging her, and his wife was there, and she took a picture of it.
That is very nice.
And I just thought that was
yes.
really who we are and what we do. So, I
So
was
now, do you
touched
work
by
with
that.
any students that volunteer, like kids from Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts in the neighborhood, or no? It's all just the mothers.
Pretty much the mothers. We actually do have a Boy Scout that is going for his Eagle Scout, and he is going to erect a sign. We've already put up 2 signs. They're called the 22 a day. Not all wounds are visible. I'm going to throw out a number here, being a math teacher that I am. There have been over 100,000 military suicides since 2001. And when you think about that, that's more than we've lost in wars. But over 100,000 military suicides. Then you throw in first responders, and the number's astronomical. But we felt that we really needed to do something on Long Island and Nassau County to honor all those men and women who died by suicide. So in Clenisec Park in Massapequa, he was the first first military person from Massapequa that died in the Vietnam War. So they had this little memorial park for him. So we erected our first sign. It says 22 a day, and it says not all wounds are visible, and that's in memory of all the veterans,
That's beautiful.
military members that who have died by suicide. And so then we have another sign up in Glen Head, the same thing, near an American Legion post. And we have a Boy Scout from my son's Boy Scout troop, who is going for his Eagle Scout, and he's doing his project, and he's going to be placing one of those same signs in Prospect Park in East Meadow.
Very nice.
And that should be happening this spring.
So you get a chance to work with these
Yes.
children as well, which
Yes,
is kind of nice.
we do. They are a very big help. And we do flags for Memorial Day at Pine Lawn, where every single grade
there's so
gets
many,
a flag.
yes.
You get all your Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, all your young children. It's great to see them there. My son did it when he was in Boy Scouts. And it's an amazing activity for young men and women to do. And it's very easy. You get there 8 o'clock in the morning, and you get these big groups of flags, and you just put one at every grade.
I've been to one of them once with
Yeah.
one of the Girl Scouts.
And I was actually there this year when they removed them, because they will have to be removed.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of kids there helping.
It's
to
a lot
remove
of
them.
work, though. When you
It's
get
a lot of
older,
work. Yeah,
you can't do it anymore.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It is a lot of work. And then we also do wreaths. It's called Wreaths Across America at
I've heard
Christmas
of
time.
it, yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So we do put wreaths out at Christmas time, and then
It's really something. You're very
you
busy.
get a lot of young
So
children.
how many
doing that.
members do you have right now?
We have about 42 members.
Which is not a lot, really.
No,
is
it's
it?
not. But
Is
we
it all
have.
Nassau or Suffolk?
This is just Nassau County.
Oh, 42 is not bad
Oh,
then.
it's pretty good.
Because today it's very hard to get memberships with the COVID and everything.
Everything else,
and you
yes.
haven't lost anybody. That's pretty good.
Yes, no, we've been very, very lucky. And, like I said, my moms are always there. We have all kinds of events. We have an event coming up on Saturday that we're helping with, and we did make a donation, the Long Island Warriors. There are so many veteran groups out there, and everybody does little pieces.
So what's happening on Saturday?
It's going to be a hockey game, the Long Island Warriors against the Suffolk County Sheriff's Department, I believe.
Oh, that should be fun.
So that's from 7 to 9 at the ice skating rink in Bethpage. And then starting from 8:30 to 11:30, they are going to have a benefit, food, drinks, whatever, at the American Legion in Massapequa to help a family. I don't have their names, but it's an Air Force veteran. He became a Floral Park policeman. He was hurt on the job by a drunk driver. His wife was a nurse at Winthrop Hospital during COVID. She got COVID, had heart issues, had to have a heart transplant. They're drowning in debt. They have 2 little children, 3 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
So this benefit on Saturday is to help them.
And they live in Floral Park?
Yes.
Well, you should get me that information because I'm a
Yes.
Floral Parker.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's somebody that we may know that might want to
Right.
do something for them.
So we're doing something like
So
that.
send me that, little blog on that.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be great.
And then in March, we're going to New York City to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial down lower South Manhattan, and we'll do a thing called Reading of the Names, where we will read the names
that's very
of
nice.
the 1,800 Vietnam veterans that were killed in Vietnam from the 5 boroughs.
In 1 year?
Well, no, just through the
Forever.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was just during Vietnam that they died.
Oh, just during Vietnam. Yeah. Okay.
And then they have a whole ceremony and then a little street fair after.
That's
but it's the way to honor the Vietnam.
So now you gave me a very nice little star
Mm-hmm.
in a nice little bag with a little poem on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this significant of?
So this past September, I went on a thing called Honor Flight. So if there are any veterans out there, they started out doing World War II veterans, then Korean War veterans. We're running out of them. And now they're doing Vietnam veterans. If you're a veteran, you get to go to Washington, D.C. for a day for free.
Really?
So you leave MacArthur Airport. We left like 6:30 in the morning. We went down to Baltimore Airport. They gave us a water salute where the fire trucks came and sprayed the plane.
Oh.
And it was so cute because I was with a Vietnam veteran and he says, Andrea, why are they washing the plane? I'm like, no, they're not washing the plane. They're doing a water salute. Then we took a really
Never heard of that. Anybody here ever hear of a water salute?
It's really beautiful. And then we took coach buses to all the memorials. Then we went to the Iwo Jima, which is actually today. Today was the day that they erected the flag at Iwo Jima. So we went to that memorial. We were supposed to go to the Air Force Memorial, but we ran out of time. Then we took the bus back to the airport, Baltimore Airport. We had dinner, and then we flew home. And they did a thing on the plane called mail call.
Mail call.
Mail call. Because when the veterans, when they were fighting, they would get their letters from home. There was no internet, there was no phone, no Zoom. They would get letters. So they got local schools and family members to write letters to the veterans that were on the bus. And each veteran got a bag with letters to read. So it was so moving. And then as a chaperones do have to pay to go, but the veterans are free. They gave everyone one of those envelopes with a star and a little poem. And what it basically
that's how it started?
That's where I got the idea. And so now it's Boost Our Mothers.
Very nice.
We collect old flags. We go to the American Legions and the VFWs. They gave us old flags that can't be flown anymore because they're tattered and torn. Because if you have a flag that's ripped, you really shouldn't fly it. And what they do is, and there's different ways of doing it, but they need to be burned in a special ceremony. We feel that these flags should have a life that continues and not just go into the ground.
So you take the flag.
We cut out the blue field. We give them the rest of the flag and they dispose of that. And then we cut out the circles and we put just a little card on the back saying that, I come from a flag that can't be, used to fly over the United States, can't be flown anymore. It's tattered and torn. And you should keep this in your pocket to remember all our veterans and all our military members that are serving or that have served.
Very nice.
So we give them out to people who make donations, people that I meet, and just to keep that flag alive so that it still has a life and it goes on.
You have a lot of specialty things you do that are very special for the
It means people. A lot. It means a lot.
Now, where is your office? Is it your home?
My home.
So you work from home?
I work from home in my car.
So you're like me. I do the same thing.
Same thing, whatever. And it's just, it's amazing what is out there. And, in a lot of the veteran groups, there's so many different veteran groups. And I remember I was at a meeting once and somebody raised their hand and I said, any questions? And they raised their hand and they said, well, why do you have to do all this? How come the government's not doing all this? But I don't get political.
It's never enough.
But it's never enough. And we have too many veterans. We have too many. I think at one point before COVID, they pretty much rounded up every veteran that was living on the street and pretty much got them into some kind of housing.
Which is very important.
But there are still now, again, veterans that are out there living, in the different woods and different areas. So, we're constantly looking. You have Beacon House where they take the veterans in. They could stay for a few months, get cleaned up.
Where is that?
That's up at the VA hospital.
Oh,
and they also have various.
Nordquist.
Yes, and they also have various Beacon houses in different locations. So they'll put a veteran there, try to get them on their feet, and then try to find some kind of housing. But there's just not enough housing that's affordable. To put all our veterans.
That's a whole different subject with seniors.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
actually, we got a call today from a senior who is being forced out of her home, and she has to pack everything up, and she's in need of bubble wrap, boxes, and those plastic tins with covers. and it was on Facebook, and she's beside herself, and rescuing families is trying to help them to help her get some housing. And I put a text into them today, and I said, this is really so sad, but this is the problem with many seniors on Long Island. Mm-hmm. And we're at the Breakfast Club advocates for seniors as well as everyone else. Mm-hmm. But the senior situation on Long Island is very sad.
Very sad. Last year, we had found out that there were people living in Eisenhower Park during the winter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we found out also that if you go to Field 2, they keep the bathrooms open during the winter, and they keep them heated so that anybody that's living on the streets can go to Field 2, go into the bathrooms, at least it's warm, and they were sleeping in there. So as Blue Star mothers, even though they aren't veterans, but we just as mothers felt that this was something, it should not be. People in Nassau County, with the money that we have and the money that is spent, there should not be people living at the park and hanging out in the bathroom. So we did a collection at one of our meetings. We got shoes and blankets and coats and sweaters.
This is just for anybody.
And this was just moms on our own. It wasn't official, because technically our charter says we have to help veterans.
Right.
But we were like, as mothers, we can't let this happen. So I went to the park and went to Field 2, and there were some people in cars and people just standing around. And I brought these things and I put them in the bathroom, and they said, oh, can we help you carry the bags? I'm like, sure, it's going to go to you anyway. So we did. We put it all into and I started asking them, and they said some of them live at the park. Some of them, like the woman that I talked to, she had a car. She lived in like a one-room bedroom. That was it.
Somebody's home.
And she still had her car. She said, I'm going to hold on to my car as long as I can. So she would drive this other friend of hers and drive other people just so they could keep warm or take them. So I said, but aren't there shelters? Can't you go at least and stay in a shelter? And the stories they were telling me,
the shelters are dangerous.
They're dangerous. There's just so many issues with them. And they said, you can't stay there.
They're loud. They're dangerous.
There's
they're not clean.
People that have very severe emotional issues that are living in the shelters. So it's not safe. Plus, they say their things are stolen. Like you have to sleep holding on to everything you own because it's going to be gone. So they would hang out at the park during the day. They had the warm bathroom. They had the car. And I mean, I was in tears, and I said, all right, so what do you really need? I just dropped off all these various items, but what do you need? So luckily she was a 7.5 shoe. She showed me her boots that were all ripped and whatever. I said, stay here, don't go anywhere. I went home. I got a whole bunch of some of my old boots that I didn't wear, which I went to look for the other day when I needed them, and I didn't have them because I forgot I gave them away, but I figured she needed them more than I did. And got her some boots and an old coat. Mm-hmm. And another 2 pairs of sneakers that you kind of have, but you don't use, but you kind of hang. So I gave her that, and I said, at least take these.
Absolutely.
It was just, it broke my heart that in our, we're not in a destitute area. We're not in, I'm not going to name any places in United States that are destitute or old.
But this is happening everywhere.
But everywhere, and these people have no place to go.
Yes.
And I remember when my oldest son said, but Ma, how did they get like this? What happened? And I said, but Andrew, it's a very slippery slope. If you lose your job and you were just about making ends meet to begin with, and now you lose your house, and then you lose your car, and it just slowly gets worse, and then you can't get a job because you don't have an address and you don't live somewhere, and you just get to the point where you lose everything, and it just broke my heart.
It's terrible.
So,
well, if anybody, do you collect clothes or no? No, it's too much work.
Only because we used to, the VA before COVID used to have a clothing room. And you could then donate, good used clothing, and they would put it in the clothing room. But because of COVID, it's closed. So if that ever opens up again, we probably would. I wish I had the time, but Blue Star mothers and my grandchildren and tutoring and everything, I'm running out of time. There is a woman, I will give a shout out to her. She has a thing called Career Couture. It's in Suffolk County, and it's part of the county government. And she has and I went there because she got some of the coats that we got from Parking Systems. And she has this beautiful office, and And it looks like you're walking into a little boutique.
I think that's who we worked with when we went to that event.
Yeah.
Yes, we donated a lot of clothes last year, and we went to the event.
I was amazed. She had everything all in these beautiful racks.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I have
Same
a whole
place.
bag of really like costume jewelry. Because I said, if you're going to get dressed up and you want to go for a job, maybe a little piece of jewelry adds to the clothes that you have. So she does a lot.
Okay.
She really does.
Well, we do know her because we
Okay.
did work with her.
Yes.
But this year we're having the prom collection,
Okay.
which is going to be held at the Nassau County Police Office in Garden City, and we're collecting gowns, jewelry, and shoes.
Okay.
And if anybody's out there is interested in giving, you go right to Westie's Self Storage in Lake Success, and you drop off gowns and shoes. If you want to give jewelry, you can come here twice a week on the show, bring it in a nice little box and a nice little bag, because that's the only thing I can lift, because I can't lift all these clothes, because we did it last year. Susan and I did it, and we needed 3 men to load the cars.
Wow. That's
And
great.
we needed to deliver them at night, and it was an hour's trip. So this year we decided to do something different. And if you know a girl or a guy that needs prom clothes, they can only be selected. They're going to go. They have to come through our program. So they'd have to call me, and then I would make an appointment. And there's one night for girls and one night for boys.
Nice.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful night set up by the Long Island Volunteer Center.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, so if you know of anybody, or you have a bunch of daughter-in-laws or anything like that, most of these kids, they just throw everything out, And some of the gowns,
Gorgeous.
if anybody's in a bridal party, those gowns are $200 or more, and they never wear them again.
Right.
So that's one of our projects.
Okay.
Also, in your organization, if you ever need entertainment, we provide entertainment through our organization with referrals, because we usually have singers that start the show or end the show. Today we had our song, which an entertainer made for us.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. We have a lot of fun stuff. We have Sinatra singers, and we have Bobby Darin singers,
Oh.
Jerry Lewis. We have a lot of different people.
Okay.
And if you ever need a night out with the girls, we have dates of everything that's coming up.
Okay.
And
I'll have to get all this information before I
yeah,
leave.
well, if you're on my Facebook now, you'll see it.
Okay.
And there's also a big event coming up on March 2nd at Mulcahy's. It's called An Evening for Equal First Aid. We're going to be involved in that. And then there's the March 30th, the Senior Health Expo that we go to as well. So we get involved in so many things. So now we're getting ready for March, St. Patty's Day. You missed our February gala on the show. When we have a holiday, we have a show with an audience. And so it's not quiet like this. It's crazy. We have a lot of fun. We have food. So the last show we had was our Valentine's show, which was wild. So today it seems very quiet in here, doesn't it, guys? Because the place was packed.
That's so
And
nice.
it's a lot of fun. Everyone brings a dish. And we just enjoy. And that's where the networking comes in that you said. And I told you that when you do network, you're going to meet people that want to be there. And when you volunteer, you're meeting people that want to be there. So you're meeting great people.
And everybody can help everybody.
Exactly. So that's what the Breakfast Club and the show is about. And we're also working currently with the Fontanas, which is going to be a new sitcom. And I'm in it.
Oh, cute.
And we need extras sometimes. So now we're looking for a 10-year-old boy that looks Italian, 2 girls, nice, pretty young girls, and from anywhere from 19 to 24, we need 2. And a very stern Italian older man, 60 to 70. So if you know anybody, that's what we're looking for right now. And it's a lot of fun. So hopefully you'll come when we unveil the first few shows. It'll be a blast.
Well, it sounds exciting.
So what happens is, from the networking, is one thing leads to another, leads to another, and this it all happens here just from conversation. Normally we have a lot of people here. Today you got the bonus because you got to talk all by yourself. Normally Greg is here, and we also have other guests. But it's a quiet month. January, February.
Quiet, and then
Yeah,
it
and
starts.
once it gets, past another 2 weeks, everything
it
lightens
starts.
up.
Well, I do want to mention, and that was the same thing what you're saying about networking. We went to an event, so my Blue Star Mothers, during the summer, and it really was an event for us, and we really got nothing from it, and we really couldn't do what we wanted to do or what we usually do. But I happened to be talking to somebody, and they said, they do a thing called Our Community Salutes. And I asked them what it was about, and they said, yeah, we've been doing it in Suffolk County for years. I said, well, why not Nassau County? They said, nobody runs it. So I go back to my organization and say, okay, we want to do this. This is something we want to do in Nassau County. So what we're going to do is on Wednesday, May 10th, at the Center for the New York Nassau County Police Department Center for Training and Intelligence. It's a brand new building over on Endo Boulevard behind Nassau Community College. Commissioner Ryder, I knew him.
We love Commissioner.
He's
been on the show.
He was so sweet. When I went up, I met him at an event for the Wantor St. Patrick's Day Parade. And I went up to him, I said, we really need a place to hold this ceremony. And I said, you think we could use your new center? He goes, absolutely. Because call me in the morning, call my office, it's done. And it was. He was phenomenal. And what we're going to do is we're going to honor high school seniors who choose to go in the military rather than going off to college directly.
Really? How many are going to be honored?
We don't know at this point because we've never done this before.
How are you going to get all this information? Each high school?
Each high school. So what we're doing is we're reaching out to various high schools, but we're also working with various recruiters in Nassau County.
The people.
So the recruiters are going to hopefully be contacting us soon, letting us know that there are young men and women that are deciding to go in the military, and they just have to go on Our Community Salutes, find a ceremony, go to New York, go to Nassau County, and they can register. It's a free event. We're going to have a whole ceremony. We'll honor them. We'll have a band. We'll have it all set up. We'll have some dignitaries there, and we'll honor these young men and women for making this very important decision and really doing something very special. And it's also, again, for networking, it's to help the parents. We'll have my moms there to talk to these new moms to let them know, there's other moms that have done this. We've sent our sons and daughters off. And
that's terrific because the moms really need the
moms need the
therapy.
Support.
Doors
open at 6 o'clock.
Are you going to have a flyer for this?
Yes, we'll be posting that soon.
I'll make sure I get that, all right?
Okay, yes. May 10th, it's a Wednesday night, the doors open at 6. We're going to have vendors there like USAA, the Navy Federal Credit Union, there's an organization, and I can't think of the name right now. They do mortgages for veterans. So they're going to have a lot of information so that, you can tell your child, right, they're going off to the military, but they can come back and they can get a VA mortgage, and we're going to help you get these.
We would like to come to that. So make sure we get a copy.
Okay, I definitely will do that. So that this way these parents have and then there'll be VFWs there and American Legions there, so that, especially for the dads and the moms, they can talk to these people so that they're not sending their child off without having some kind of network system, some kind of support system, because you really do need that when you send them away. I know because my son, and I don't know where he's going, but he will be deployed again in July. Mm-hmm. And, people don't realize when they're deployed, he's leaving his wife and 2 children behind, missing out on birthdays, missing out on events. Missing out on, things that they would like to be here for. And they're going to parts of the world that aren't very safe. And all he'll say is, it's hot, it's sunny, there's a lot of sand, no good beaches and no Mai Tais. They're not going away. They're not being sent like to Italy or England or someplace nice. It's not a vacation. It's, he's already been, he was away for over a week for training. He went to Vegas because it's hot there, so they could do their training in Vegas. And he will be leaving in July.
Wow.
So we're going to a yellow ribbon pre-deployment event at his base to offer information, to give support to the wives, the husbands.
That's terrific what you're doing. Really, what a great cause.
People don't realize this is going on. We have men and women deployed all over the world right now, that they're not home with their loved ones. And it's scary for them. So we want to offer that support. So
well, you can see you're very into the program, and you do a lot. And you're retired. You have a family. You have grandchildren. It's a lot. And I mean, we understand that here because we do a lot too.
Do a lot too.
But everybody does within their limits of what they can do.
But you get the energy to do what you do
because you're getting something out of it.
When you see a smile on these veterans' faces that they're getting new socks and underwear, it's like, and they're so thankful and they can't thank you enough. Or, when you're helping a military family that is struggling and now you're helping them and making it a little bit easier for them. that just invigorates you. And,
No,
as
it's
moms,
very
we
true.
feed
Yeah.
off each other, and who comes up with this idea and who came up with that idea. And I just got a call today from someone, oh, a school did this collection and they want to give it to us, and, making arrangements to get it picked up and brought to the VA
Right.
or to the vet mart. It just
great.
keeps you going.
So what is this? Is this like the Girl Scout badge? This is
Kind
the
of
mother's
like-
badge?
Kind of like.
Let's talk about this. Proud supporter.
Okay, so first it's, American flag comes first. We always say family first and faith first, but the flag goes on top. This is my Blue Star Mother pin. This is the Air Force Association, the Long Island Air Force Association. Long Island Air Force Association. They have honored over 1,000 Vietnam veterans. They have a
Wow.
ceremony that they honor Vietnam veterans. And since we're kind of running out of Vietnam veterans to honor, we're now doing women's ceremonies. We're honoring women veterans. And women veterans are very funny, and women in the military. I've gone up to so many women in the
They
military.
don't want it?
And I'll say, here's a ceremony. You get a really nice medallion. You're thanked. You bring your family. Oh, I didn't do anything to deserve it. Give it to somebody else. I'm like, no. It's not. It's you. You stepped up. You are
You did
serving
it.
your company,
Exactly.
your country. You deserve to have that. So that's the Air Force Association. This came from the 4 chaplains ceremony. There were 4 chaplains. There was a Methodist, a Catholic, a Jewish, and there was another religion. There were 4 of them, and they were on the Dorchester during World War II. The ship was torpedoed by the Germans. It was sinking. They didn't have enough lifeboats for everyone. I think almost 600 members died.
geez.
But they stayed on the ship, arms linked, and gave their life vests to other sailors so that they could survive. And they went down with the ship. And so it's usually the first weekend in February, we honor those 4 chaplains.
Very nice.
So this came from that ceremony. This is a Blue Star pin that we got from the Air Force Association. We do a lot to help the Purple Heart. Purple Heart is any veteran that's been wounded. So we help them. This is an Air Force pin from my son. This is a flag with a blue and red stripe. The red stripe is from my older son, who's a volunteer fireman. My other son, who's a policeman. This comes from the Vietnam ceremonies that we do, and all of the things that we do for the Vietnam veterans. This is a pearl. We go to Pearl Harbor ceremonies every year.
Nice. I love the pearl.
Yes. And yes, you get a pearl every time you go to a Pearl Harbor ceremony at Pine Lawn.
Mhm.
And then this was my father's Army Air Corps pin.
Oh,
So
that's something.
those
Really.
are all my pins.
Well, you're quite impressive, very beautiful woman, and
you.
what you do is wonderful. And we started to talk when you first came in about something we have in common.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to give you this book, and I don't know if you want to share just a quick.
No, I
this
do.
is Karma. All right, we came in and she started to tell me about something. So this book is for you because I think you can identify with it.
Yes, you tell your part first, and then
Well,
I'll add mine.
this story is about me and my best friend, and what happened when we met this child who almost drowned in a pool and needed hyperbarics to survive. She's now 21. She's still around. Not easy, but she's not a quitter.
I'd really like to meet her. I also lost a 2-year-old son 40 years ago who drowned in a pool. And then we donated his corneas to the iBank for Sight Restoration in New York. And I've been working with the iBank now for 40 years on their Speakers Bureau. I'm also a member of their board. I'm a board member. And I also worked with Senator Fischello years ago on pool fencing laws that in Nassau County, any new pools that were put in a backyard, you had to have a fence put around the pool for safety. People don't realize how easily and how quickly a child can drown in a pool. And even the alarms back then were not that good. People thought they could depend on them, and they really weren't dependable enough. So that's why we said you have to have a fence. So any new pools being put in Nassau County, you had to have a fence.
So that was a very hard time for you.
Yes.
Because me and my girlfriend Jerry, we worked with this family for about 5 years. And then we felt we trained them enough and knew what they needed to do to get beyond. And every now and then I get a card or, a notice, but she still is alive. And it all happened just because we were reading Newsday and we heard about it. We were sitting in a bar having a drink. Grandmother walked in, and that's how it happened.
That's how it happened. It's amazing.
And we
how
heard the
things
story, and instead of having another drink, we went to meet this pretty little girl.
Yeah, I definitely
That you'll read
into
about
this.
her.
Yeah.
So I'd like to give you that book because
Thank you.
it might give you a little, something to, of course you'll have a sad part of it, but you also, there is always hope.
There is always hope. There is always hope.
And hyperbarics now is covered by insurance, but it wasn't
back then.
18 years ago. Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, just by sheer chance, we were able to donate Christopher's corneas to the eye bank. So that's why I've been involved with the eye bank for all these years. And again, it was because a neighbor happened to read an article in the paper, and he happened to be standing in the kitchen with us after we came back from the hospital. So that was just such an odd occurrence that it was just fate, plain.
Yes, and that's why the best thing you could do for any kind of an organization or any kind of an event is try to contact the newspapers. Not an easy thing anymore. It's hard to get through. Do you get through to them when you need to, or
not always?
Yeah,
not always.
So that's another tough thing. I do that. We do that here at the Breakfast Club too. So we do little jobs. We do some consulting, and then we have the show, and we always try to be positive, which we were. This was a great show today. You're an amazing woman.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the fact that you're still doing it, still bringing people in, I would think the young mothers are the hardest.
Because we are getting some younger mothers, but most of our mothers are a little bit older.
Yes, okay.
We are trying to reach out. I know with this, our community salutes, we'll get some more mothers that way. But it's all just getting out there, spreading the word, talking to people, letting them know what we're doing, and helping them with this decision.
I love your outfit. So you could wear any white top, right?
Any white top, any blue or black pants or skirt. And this is our little ice cream hat.
Cute hat. You look like the good humor lady.
I know. That's what we always say. And it's funny because
you should hand out ice cream.
I know. we were at an event at Eisenhower Park, and there was an American Auxiliary there, and they had these other little hats. And they go, "We hate our hats." I'm like, "Well,
those are nice and big.
Can we switch our hats?"
Let me see the hat.
This is our hat. That's our hat. Yes.
Yes, nice and big.
Yeah.
A nice hat.
It's always Field 6, the veterans.
How's that, guys? Is that a good hat?
Wow, yeah, that looks great. I love it.
It's not big enough
like
for
the
me.
Andrews sisters.
You have a tiny, and it would fall out, but it's kind of cute.
A lot of times we have to put bobby pins in to help hold
Do you do parades?
Oh, yes, we do parades. We're actually going to do the Wantor Parade, the St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's a massive event. It's really a nice parade.
It's on
Wantor Avenue, down Wantor Avenue, on March 19th.
St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Yes, and our organization is going to be honored. We're one of the two. They pick two organizations each year, and someone from each the two organizations get to wear a special sash, and we walk right behind the Grand Marshal.
How nice
So
is
Blue
that?
Star Mothers is going to be one of those organizations. So we're really excited.
You should be.
It's a big parade.
Do you know Stephanie Carlino? She lives in Wantor, and she's Irish, and she's very into all the Irish stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully she'll be at the parade.
She goes to every. She wears the same sweater every year.
Okay.
She only wears it on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, that's important. You need to do that.
Stephanie, you have to go to the parade and look for the Blue Star Mothers.
Yes.
Take a picture for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, this has been really. I knew nothing about this organization.
There are veteran
and I
groups
do
that
work
don't
with
know
the
about
veterans
us.
because we do things with the veterans, and I used to drop them off at the hospital because it was more convenient. The one in Hempstead,
Uniondale, right.
East Meadow, whatever you want to call it. And so it's good to know. And I bet that their clothes thing might be open soon. I have to find out. I have to call them for Susan because she likes to donate some things always.
Can I do one more shout out?
Sure.
Okay. So there's an organization called SARflag.org. It's Suicide Awareness and Remembrance. The president is Kevin Hertel. He is an Air Force veteran. And he lost a cousin to suicide, and also his father had tried to commit suicide. And he is trying to promote his agenda of making people aware, to talk to people, to listen to people, because so many of our veterans have PTSD, and he's trying to remove the stigma of for the families that remain behind.
It's a very sad disease.
It's very, very sad.
And a lot of people are affected.
And he is going to do something with us. My daughter and I last June did a 18-mile overnight walk. We started at 8:30 at night and walked till 5 in the morning in New York City to raise awareness for suicide awareness.
That's terrific.
Because there is so much out there. There is, and I do want to do the shout out. If you are ever in need or anybody ever wants to talk, even a young high school, middle school child, anyone that needs to talk to anyone, There's a new number now. It's called 988. You know, you dial 911.
988?
But 988 is for suicide.
I did not know that.
Yes, so that's something that we like to spread the word out. So if you dial 988, I think the first prompt is veterans because they have the biggest need. But they're all different prompts. So even a junior high student that has a bad day at school that wants to talk to somebody, they can call this number. Anybody can call the number. It's free. It's completely anonymous. The only time they will try to find you is if you're going to do harm to yourself, harm to someone else, or someone's going to harm you.
That's
Then
really
they
great
would try to find
information.
you. But definitely you dial 988, and it's just if anybody needs to talk. Because there have been other suicide awareness numbers, but they're like a 1-800, and when you're really in need, you can't remember those numbers, and you're never going to find that number. 988 is a nice nationwide simple number that they can call.
And what is your website address? What is it called?
It's it's bluestarmothersny14.org. That's our new website. bluestarmothersny14.org.
Okay. And do you need any help that people, if they want to help you, they just call you?
They can call me. They can email me. My email is president.ny14@bluestarmothers.us.
Okay.
And they could email me. They could text me. They could call me. We do all kinds of drives. We've done paper drives for the Beacon House because the people that live there, they don't have dishwashers, so they use paper plates, napkins, utensils, cups, bowls, coffee. So we've done paper drives where we've brought over.
Well, just
those
make
items.
sure that that you put your things on flyers and send it on the Breakfast Club show and at mine, because we'll share it.
Okay, that's
and
great.
so on that note, I want to tell everyone to like and share this show because that'll help you as well. And by tomorrow, you'll have it. And you tell all your friends
Absolutely.
after they see it on your Facebook to do the same. And of course, if you have anybody that is interested, let us know.
Okay.
And we have tonight and tomorrow, Eddie Sessa. If you want to hear Sinatra, he's playing at Casariano tonight and Westbury Manor on Friday.
Oh, wow.
And if you want a very special club night, Fridays are great at the Polo Lounge. You tell Eddie that we sent you. And a wild fun night tonight, Casariano, same thing. Those are two restaurants that we work with, among others. But
you do amazing things.
Eddie's a great Sinatra singer. We also have Bob D'Amato, who is a great Bobby Darin singer. And we have Jim Altamori, another great Sinatra singer. We have so many people that, Jerry Ferretti, who's an Elvis singer and has a band. He's playing tomorrow night at the Irish pub. Nutty Irishman. So we get invited. We try to get people out. And we just all help each other. So if you ever want to party, you just call Valentino.
Sounds like, this is
where
great.
to go. And then, of course, there's this great club. And every night there's something here. And it's called the Avenue of Cheese.
Yes.
And that's it, guys. So that's a wrap.
Wow.
Thank you.